Trees are the essence of life. Yet every day I never fail to hear news about more trees being cut down. In fact, at this rate, I've heard in various sources that in the near future we'll be completely treeless. Today, here with us, we have Venya, who has done extensive research on deforestation and really can share with us some knowledge. Hello, Venya.
Hi, Urja.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, what do you have to say about this current situation on deforestation?
Deforestation has become a huge problem. It's been addressed multiple times over the courses of many occasions, but yet over the past 10 years, it has reached its climax, which, in other words, is its turning point, and has definitely also taken the route of actually saving the trees, helping Earth be more eco friendly, and just taking care of the environment.
And in what areas of the world would you say deforestation is still the most severe?
There is no specific area, continent, or country, but I would just say in areas where there are a lot of trees, it's more of a densely packed forest area. Those are the areas where deforestation would generally occur the most.
Oh, and why would you say that these tree packed areas would be the scent of deforestation?
When we had these such densely populated forest areas, just with trees being so immensely spread out, those are the areas where people are actually going to go and to cut down trees because that's where they can get more trees from if they need trees for any sort of use.
And would you say causes like agriculture would require the removal of trees?
Yes, agriculture does have some impact on trees. We do have to remove trees sometimes for agricultural purposes, but this purpose isn't done through a bad intention. Like agricultural purposes, they're all good intentions. It's just we're still harming the environment. At least it's not just because we're doing it without like a bad reason. If you were just cutting down the trees without no rhyme, no reason, basically this is called illegal logging, then yes, it would actually and potentially be causing more harm to the environment than just agricultural use itself.
Well, that's interesting. So is illegal logging like done for recreation?
There is no such specific area or thing where illegal logging would be done for, but it's just basically when people go to the forest areas, there are trees that are just cut down without any reason of having the trees. You don't have a good reason, but it is being stopped with many of these new technology uses and devices that have actually taken a huge turn in helping the deforestation situation get better.
And you also mentioned how deforestation is sometimes done for need, like for agriculture. But if deforestation were to be completely stopped, how would industries such as the agriculture industry still thrive?
They would have to come up with a different alternative. Of course, they have to use more of products. Of course, these products may not be easy to access, but generally, when we talk about deforestation, we want it to be removed from the whole society and just the world in general. They have to opt to more organic products, though it is more expensive, very costly because they're better than just regular products. That is a better way to go.
So could you like expand on smart consumerism other than just buying organic produce? What are some other ways that we as individuals can be smart about where we put in our money to stop deforestation?
So, aside from organic products, There's no other like money way where we can just be smart with our money, because the other option is not related to money. It's actually reducing the consumption of paper, because sometimes in our daily lives we use paper unnecessarily. So this just means really only using paper when you really have to. And for other purposes, just try to not use palm oil as much as possible, because that's basically the opposite of using organic products.
Well, that's really interesting. I definitely will try to do that in my life. And deforestation must be a collective effort of people all across the world. But there are many people who depend on deforestation, such as the farmers. So, how will we get these people to also pitch into the efforts of reducing and possibly even stopping deforestation?
Now, the countries that do depend on deforestation are more of the poor countries. They're poor in both resource aspects and, of course, the money aspects too. So, those are the only exceptions to not following deforestation. Although we could make up, put many things out into their area and try to convince them, such that what little they can do to pitch in to spread the word, or even stop the deforestation problem as much as they can for themselves. When so you whatever they're doing that causes the deforestation, they're probably just cutting down trees for whatever uses they may need, because they're the reason why they're cutting down trees is to live their daily lives, so that's why they're doing it. But we could suggest better products for them other than just cutting down trees, although it may be difficult to get or have.
And deforestation would also need a lot of advertising, a lot of campaigning to help people stop it. And it could be hard to get to people in remote areas, such as people who live in the forest and depend on it, including by doing deforestation. So, how would we spread the message to all corners of the world?
The message has already been spread through a lot of these worldwide organizations that actually go against deforestation. So they have a lot of goals to end deforestation. And I have to say, one of their goals was to end deforestation by the time 2020 rolled in. It's 2021, as you can see, this whatever they predicted did not come true, although they're hoping that pretty much all deforestation, if not every aspect of deforestation, should be gone by 2030. So hopefully, because of the reduced efforts of cutting down trees, of course, there is still illegal logging in parts of the world. It still lives on. But just in general, reducing how much you cut down trees, just putting efforts that would stop deforestation will ultimately help with the goal for 2030.
And clearly, like you just mentioned, goals are not always the most attainable, especially in a certain time frame. And if you think that by 2030 deforestation will be significantly reduced, are there any changes in the efforts that are being made that will need to be implemented, such as even more recycling or a larger decrease in cutting down trees?
Actually, recycling, I forgot to say earlier, but that's actually one of the ways we can actually prevent this whole deforestation thing. And when it comes to illegal logging, we already have technology. So if you weren't, this is very surprising. What the country of Uganda invented an app that actually shows these people committing the illegal logging act, and this will definitely help, because now you know where the illegal logging is happening, right, either in your area or globally, so you can kind of just do things in those areas to put an end to deforestation. Just try as hard as you can, strive for the best, and just put in all your effort if you're interested in solving a lot of these environmental problems, because deforestation of course, falls under the environmental issues category.
So, of course, stopping deforestation will be taking off a great burden on the environment. But will it also have some negative effects on other aspects, such as the economy?
Yes, actually, that is true. If we totally get rid of deforestation, yes, there can be an impact on the economy. And in this case, I feel like people would actually want to have some sort of deforestation going on in their lives because if it's going to impact the economy, the outcome is not going to be very good. It's going to be terrible. So that I think that's why there may still be some reminiscences of deforestation here and there, just so we can kind of get the economy into better shape, you know?
So, as you're an advocate of stopping deforestation, would you say that it is more important to completely save the environment, or also keep the economy stable, even if it means sacrificing the environment?
I wouldn't totally side with either of them because we have to put, um, I'd say 50-50 efforts into both, right? So half of the efforts go to helping the environment with deforestation, and then the other half will go to helping the economy in terms of just making sure the economy doesn't have a huge downfall because we're giving deforestation as a priority, which is fine. It's okay to give deforestation uh, the goods of what a priority is, but the other thing is if we just focus on that, other things are going to be impacted, such as the economy. So that's why I would just give a 50-50 effort for both of them.
Okay, and are there any large scale organizations such as international or national organizations that are working to putting an end to deforestation?
Yes, I think the national worldwide organizations that have direct correlation to environmental problems are actually taking many efforts. They have many of these signs and slogans that they're creating that also contribute to putting it all around the world in efforts to stop deforestation. So that's what's going on right now. And of course, we already have all these innovative suggestions made by them because if not just people in general to stop deforestation entirely.
And people are also, as far as I know, strongly entwined with deforestation. So, does deforestation also have some negative effects on people, such as allowing too much carbon dioxide into the air that we breathe?
Yes, actually, if you do have deforestation happening in some sort of forest area, there's more carbon dioxide that goes into the air, and therefore the existing carbon dioxide will have a hard time of getting absorbed. So, yes, it does cause problems for people because humans need oxygen, not some air or atmosphere full of or mostly filled with carbon dioxide. It's just not good for us.
So, this means that deforestation on a large scale can clearly be hazardous for people.
Yes, correct.
So, at this stage, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the severity of deforestation?
Now it's actually a 7. Before it was definitely a 10, but now it's not that serious because we're already implementing solutions into it. Yes, it's still serious. We're not saying it's totally not, but it's still serious because we're still making efforts to solving or trying to do whatever it takes to stop deforestation.
And would you say that the COVID-19 pandemic has had any impact on the deforestation rate?
Yeah, because of the COVID pandemic, at least at the beginning, no one was really able to cut down trees. So at that time, I think no deforestation, but that doesn't really have to do with impacting the economy because there were other things that were already impacting the economy then. So I think after deforestation kind of got a little more back into the game because people actually started doing it because some people actually cut down trees for a living. So it became a thing again, but of course they don't really do it that much anymore.
Well, Venya, I have learned so much from this interview, and I'm sure the audience too has learned a lot of information from you. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge.
Thank you, Orja. My pleasure having being your interview person for today. Thank you.
Thank you.